Hi everyone, Donna Joy here, and welcome to another episode of the Cougar-licious Cub House. Yay! Hey, what happens when two comics, one from the East Coast and the other from the Midwest, collide? Well, you'll find out on this episode. Take it away.
Cougar-licious, in my power I rise with every step I take. I light up the skies, celebrating me. I'm a star shining bright, enjoying all the eye candy under the moonlight. Oh, Cougar-licious, watch me take my stand, moving to the beat. Come and take my hand.
No one can resist that tune. I'll tell you, does it get in your head or what? Does it? Yes. Hey, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We have two fantastic comedic guests, comics, comedians, and people who make you laugh. Josh Lidawer and Denise Vasquez. Vasquez?
Yes.
Did I do that?
Thank you for getting it right. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. I forgot to. But praying from the East Coast, I think we realize we know how to kind of pronounce those names pretty easily. So welcome. And while we're doing the show, everybody, you're going to see that like, share, and subscribe button come up. I want you to like, I want you to share, and I want you to subscribe to the show because you keep this channel going, and I really appreciate it. Yes, and so do we all, right? Because the more subscribers we have, the more shows we'll have, the more times we'll get to meet these fabulous guests. That's how it works. Yes, cha-cha-cha. Yay. And it's not bubble wrap.
It sounds like bubble wrap. But I like bubble wrap.
Oh, yeah?
And I hear it more often than I hear applause. So that's
people. Actually, wouldn't that be kind of a fun thing to do?
to hand it out at shows.
Hand it out at shows, yeah. Bubble wrap. It's a pop, 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 pop. That would be kind of neat.
It'd be relaxing too.
You heard it
Not
here
for
first.
the comic on stage. It's like, ooh, we invented a new form of heckling now.
Yeah. Pop, 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 pop. Well, again, welcome. Josh, you are the comic from the Midwest. And Denise, you are the comic from the East Coast. Yes, unbelievable. So tell us a little bit about yourselves. Josh, you're from Chicago.
Yeah, I grew up in Chicago. Mm-hmm. Born in New Jersey, so I am a little bit of an East Coaster, I guess.
Okay.
But I really grew up in the Midwest. Mm-hmm. Grew up Chicago area. If anyone from Chicago is watching, they get really upset if you say you're from Chicago and you're actually from the suburbs.
Oh, yeah. Well, we can understand that, right? Because if you're from New York, you want to be from the city.
Yeah.
You don't want to become from New Rochelle, right? I mean, it's the whole thing. Yeah. But that's technically New York because it is the state.
It's very true.
Yeah,
very
but
true.
You hold people.
That's the thing with the state. I know people from 5 towns who say they're from New York and let you believe they're from the city. And I'm like, I'm from North Jersey. I'm from right across the river. That's closer to the city than you.
You know, I have a funny story. When I first moved to California, we were talking a little bit about this earlier, okay? You don't lose the accent. You don't lose your East Coast accent, you know, and especially when you're brand new. So people would used to ask me, they used to say, where are you from? Are you from New York? And I'd say, no, I'm from Connecticut. And they'd say, where's that? And it was like, are you kidding me? It's just on the other side of New York. So I used to get so tired of having to explain where Connecticut was. People would say, where are you from, New York? And I'd say, yeah. And they say, what part? I say, Connecticut. And they went, oh, okay. And that's like... And that's seriously, that was my introduction to the West Coast. It was like trying to explain to people what was going on out there. But anyway, so it is territorial identification is very important. And Denise, you are from the city itself, New York.
That's right.
The Bronx.
Well, I lived in every borough, but I was born in the Bronx. Raised in the Bronx till I was 11. Then we moved to Roosevelt Island. And like Connecticut, when I tell people I'm from Roosevelt Island, they usually go, where's that? Or they associate it with like the Spider-Man movies where he's fighting the Green Goblin on the tramway. But I've lived in every borough. I've lived in Manhattan. I've lived in Queens. I've lived in Brooklyn. I've lived
So you actually got started in New York as well with the improv and that the New York Comedy Club?
So I started actually performing on stage when I was 4 as a dancer, which led me into getting into movies and music videos. comedy started for me in the 90s. I auditioned for Joy Newman. She had a group called the Grown Ups Playground, which was a great group, and I got accepted, and I was a member, and we would have rehearsals, and then we'd perform every Saturday at the New York Comedy Club.
Wow. And when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Right? And that was all part of the recreational thing, too. I mean, the kids all took dance lessons, tap lessons. I think, was it Christopher Walken? He was a tap dancer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was from New York. Yeah. He was a tap dancer.
Patrick
I think.
Swayze was an amazing dancer, ballet
that I
dancer.
believe.
Yes. His mom was a ballet teacher,
Yes.
and him and his brother and siblings, they were all really good dancers. So,
Yeah. And it's such great training, too, because I started also, 5 years old,
Right.
doing that stuff. but it teaches you so much in terms of developing your confidence and your persona, and just being able to just walk into a room and just command it, basically.
And know your space and have confidence and know how to carry yourself.
Exactly.
And back in the day, before the internet, we're older than the internet.
Yes, pre-internet.
So back in the day, like the more skills you had, the more opportunities you would create for yourself. So when I got into improv and sketch comedy, that was in the 90s. That was a time where I was trying to find any way to get on stage and any way to perform and any way to put myself out there to invite people to come see me. So,
So you were actually in improv before you went into stand-up?
Yeah, stand-up came later in LA, 2013.
Oh wow, that was really,
Yeah, I was doing more acting and theater and traveling. And
So what prompted you to go into stand-up?
So when I was a teenager, I knew I wanted to do stand-up. I was terrified to be on stage by myself, which I loved improv because you were never alone on stage. And sketch, you were never alone on stage. And theater, I was never alone on stage.
And you're in character.
Right.
So it's easier.
And I remember going in New York, New York is the mecca for comedy. And, everybody's so focused and they get their sets and they hit mics at least 5 a night. And, you're going from place to place. And I remember going with my friends to some mics and I was like, I'm not ready yet. I felt like I needed to go out and live and experience life and experience life to have
Any
something to
comics that
bring.
you truly inspired you at the time? Or?
George Carlin is forever
George
my
Carlin
favorite.
always comes up.
He's
Yes,
forever my
absolutely.
favorite.
Absolutely.
Yeah, his wordplay, Robin Williams. When I was a kid, my mom would take us to Central Park and Robin Williams would be the mime in front of Central Park. So he was a big influence on me, seeing him like actually doing miming and messing with people. And George Carlin, Sam Kinison, Lily Tomlin. I mean, there's so many.
Right. And you were right in the heart of it.
Yeah.
And what about in Chicago? What was going on in Chicago during your days?
I went to school every day. Sometimes when I woke up, I started comedy out here in Vegas. So I always knew comedy existed there. I one time went to a comedy club in Peoria, Illinois. That was the closest I ever got to even watching stand-up.
Really?
So,
Really?
yeah.
But did you watch it on television? Did you watch?
I never got into it. I don't know. And people would always be like, "Did you see this news?" Especially once it started coming to Netflix. When I was in college, I always remember people would be like, "Did you watch this new stand-up special?" And I never. And then one day, like finally, I was like, "All right, I'll watch it." And I asked my roommate, "What should I watch?" And he was like, "You got to watch this Bert Kreischer one." And I watched it, and I was like, "I don't get it."
So, okay, Josh, so how
I
did
just kept asking why he's shirtless, and no one could answer that question, and they couldn't get past that.
So then, how did you make a transition to the comedy stage? You just woke up one morning and thought, I think I'll do it?
I think that I was looking for an excuse to quit my job, and I wanted to, and so I was like, I need to, when people quit their careers, they need to come up with something creative to justify that they're going to spend time on until then get it out of their system. So I always liked
What were you doing?
writing. I was in grad school getting a doctorate in economics.
In economics?
Yeah.
And you quit that?
Not for comedy.
Not for comedy?
And I will say part of it too, I liked, because I taught undergrad classes and I lectured to the undergrads, and I liked making jokes during my lectures.
That's what he reminds me of. He reminds me of a professor.
And no one ever laughed at my jokes at all.
Not even the
So
students?
somehow it gave me the confidence to be like, I could do this.
I can do this. They're not laughing. I'm still here. I can do this.
Pretty much, yeah. They never laughed at any of them. So
They're going like, why is this professor
yeah.
making jokes?
Yeah.
You know, I'm here for my education.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I was a student, I'd be laughing a lot because that's almost like a guaranteed A, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, right?
See, they didn't
Yeah.
get it. They didn't understand that I'm the TA. I'm also grading all of their papers,
Right.
and I also
Yes.
don't care at all, and I'm just giving out grades based on whatever I feel that day. And if someone laughed at my jokes, you
They
were
got
right.
They got an A.
But no one ever found that out.
That's hilarious.
I mean, I couldn't have gotten a higher degree in economics if I had you as a. So you stopped that. You just said, okay, this is not for me,
Yeah.
but comedy is.
I wouldn't say exactly like that. I quit grad school and it was COVID. Mm-hmm. And therefore I had a lot of time to think and rethink. It was hard I got a new job, like doing sales. But I knew that wasn't what I wanted to do long term. And my friend was like, hey, I'm moving out to Las Vegas. He got a job here. He was like, I could use a roommate. I don't know anyone there. You've always said you wanted to tell jokes or write or something. I think there's showbiz out there if you want to come.
Oh yeah, a little bit, little community here. That's for sure.
And so I was like, sure, why not? So I came out here and I was like, that's a fun thing that I'll cross off my bucket list. I'll go to a couple open mics, get it out of my system, learn that that's something that I could never do. And
But you're doing it.
And then I caught a bug, I guess.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
So-
you become very popular too.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, I've seen your sets. I think the last set I saw, I said, wow, that's because I've really seen you grow.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've been there since day one, so.
I've been there since day one. That's right. only for the newcomers. I've been there for day one. I haven't, because I've only been here 8 years myself.
Yeah.
You know, but it's all part of that support network. I think people just really supporting and encouraging each other and all of that. So, what did your parents think? Because I know a lot of your humor is about Jewish life, so I can't imagine Jewish parents watching their son leave accounting for the stage.
I think that their general philosophy is, as long as I don't come to them and ask for money or try to move in with them, that I can do what I want. I think they have their opinions. Sometimes they offer them.
Now, are they still back in Chicago?
No,
or?
they live in Scottsdale now.
In Scottsdale. Okay.
That's
of course, yes.
That's the
'cause
new
it's
South
warmer.
Florida,
That's right. That's right.
That
Yeah.
and Summerlin. It's all people that I grew up with, parents in Scottsdale and Summerlin.
Yeah, well, one of our sponsors on the show is Caldwell Banker out of Green Valley.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Arizona. Yeah, because a friend of mine is a realtor there. And so she sponsors the show. So it is becoming the Florida
Yeah. Absolutely.
for the Midwest people, for sure. Yeah. And to say this is so fantastic. I got two great guys. It's two great people here. Tell me now a little bit about, because we were talking a little bit about this before, how you really are a gal after my own heart with your productions and your shows, because you not only performed in them, but you've also produced as well. So tell us a little bit about that.
So, as far as producing goes, it started actually in New York City. I was thinking about it. And I produced a show at the Duplex Cabaret downtown in New York City. It was like a little music show. And it started there, and they kept saying, keep going, keep going, keep playing. And the encouragement was really important to me, because producing a show is a lot of work. And I wasn't sure if that's what I wanted to do, but I wanted to try it because I didn't see very many opportunities for women. And
Right.
so I moved to the Virgin Islands, and
That's right. Yes. She's from the Virgin
I've
Islands.
lived in
Just
so many.
throwing that in there.
I lived in so many places. So we were talking about traveling, and I'm definitely a traveling spirit, a traveler at heart. And it's my mom's fault. It's all your fault, Mom. She put me on a plane when I was a kid, and I've been addicted to traveling since. And so I lived in Scotland first in 1988, London 1989, moved to St. John in the U.S. Virgin Islands and lived there for almost 8 years. And while I was down in St. John, there wasn't a lot of opportunities coming through. So I was doing production. I was doing anything to like be creative and to be on set and to perform in the resorts, my music. And I noticed that there wasn't very many opportunities for women. And this one girl who got into every opportunity, she shared her opportunities with me. And I was like, okay, let's keep passing this torch. Let's keep creating.
What year span was this?
This was like early 90s. So I was still in New York in 92, early 90s. And I started producing festivals, I would say 1998 in St. John in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Wow.
98, 99. And then I moved to LA. And as I mentioned to you earlier, I was inspired by Sarah McLachlan doing Lilith Fair. And I was like, okay, maybe, you know, I'm going to try it. And I was waiting tables, you know, down in St. John. I had so many jobs, waiting tables, painting T-shirts, wedding coordinator.
Anything that's going to bring in the dollars, right?
Right. And so one of the restaurants where I worked was on the beach. And my friend and I convinced her to give us the venue. Like after dinner, we were like, just give us the venue.
That's it.
For a few hours as the sun was setting. Like imagine the boats rolling in. And I had all these amazing women that I scouted and found. You name it, from violinists to harmonica players to singers to guitarists. And next thing I knew, we made the paper and people started demanding that. Like it just grew, it became bigger than me. It was like,
wow.
That's the short version.
Yeah, you had the audiences coming to you.
And the boats.
You had
like,
just a central location
it
right
was
there.
amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So my boss, like, she did it kind of behind her husband's back because he didn't like the idea. So she waited till he went out of town. And so we the first one was like a couple of hours. And then the next one was like 12 hours all day, which was like a big thing it was a lot for me to do, but I loved it. As we were talking about, you have to do what you love and love what you do. And I love sharing the light and the energy and the opportunities and the stage with, you know, other women. We didn't exclude men. I never wanted to exclude men. I just wanted to create opportunities for women.
Right.
So we had guys playing guitar and guys doing sound and guys playing drums and, you know, but it featured predominantly women.
And highlighting women. And that is really kind of the focus of my Cougar-licious brand, is to basically to celebrate women. And not necessarily, you know, not to negate men, but basically to help celebrate the accomplishments of women and, you know, where they've gone.
I love it.
And you have a lot of women who are, you know, just real pioneers like yourself that just say, okay, fine, let's do it, you know. Let's get it done, you know? And it's the same thing like with sales as well, you know? With sales, you have to go out there and you have to seek the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know? What did you sell, Josh?
Insurance.
Insurance?
Yeah.
Somehow. Well, you know.
I'm just fulfilling stereotypes here or something.
I don't know, Josh. You're filling it in pretty good. You know, was it Bob Newhart? Bob Newhart was an accountant. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yes, but you know who Bob Newhart is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oof. Thank God you know who Bob Newhart. Yeah.
I had MeTV growing up.
So you were influenced a little bit.
Yeah, I was an insomniac in like middle school and high school, so I did watch a lot of old TV sitcoms and stuff like that back. So I guess a little. I watched a lot of Mel Brooks.
Oh, well, yeah.
That was like most of my childhood. That was really my dad was very serious, but he really loved Mel Brooks. So,
Well, who didn't?
so I got to watch a lot of Blazing Saddles.
Yeah,
Blazing Saddles is...
Oh, that's phenomenal. That was, well, Mel Brooks, he was so unique. I mean, in terms of his structure and the style of his comedy, you know, he'd really be delivering some very strong messages, you know, but in a very, you know, very comedic way. I mean, what was the other one that he did? Oh, there were so many, but there was Blazing Saddles, obviously, but the History of the World.
The History
of the World is just, oh my God, he just it nailed it every single time, you know? It's just, just fantastic.
It's funny because that was my favorite, and I hadn't seen it in like 15 years, and I recently I bought it online and
The
was
History of
showing
the
my
World?
girlfriend, and I was like, this is not as high quality as I remember it.
Well, yeah, because what you start doing is you start comparing it by today's standards and
Yeah.
the methods of filming and recording and all of that, and the equipment, you know, what they had to shoot with and what they had to deal with. It's the same thing like if you listen to rock bands and you listen to, I remember one time I got a CD, it was Janis Joplin's original recordings with Big Brother and the Holding
Yeah.
Company, and it sounded terrible. It just sounded terrible because the recording equipment that they had back
Yeah.
then, you know, it was just awful. And you put it on the CD, and it was just like, it was just kind of like showed every nook and cranny, and it was like, yeah, this doesn't work. But the substance of the comedy still holds,
Yeah.
you know,
Absolutely.
and that's that. So you were influenced by
Yeah,
these guys.
that's true. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And I know that a lot of your topics, you talk a little bit about growing up in a Jewish life, dating,
Yeah.
and things like this. Do you base this on actual experiences, or do
More
you
or less.
more or less that you're inspired?
Things are exaggerated.
Yeah, yeah.
I exaggerate things. Sometimes I combine things.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I have like an uncle or something, and I'll say it's my dad because I think it makes the joke easier,
Mm-hmm.
and because I'm more comfortable offending my dad.
Well, better than your mother. Yeah. And what about you, Denise? I mean, in terms of the basis of your comedy, what do you kind of base it on?
Life.
Life, because life is funny.
Life. I mean, my comedy's changed over the years, as it should. When I first started writing comedy back in 2013, I studied with David Arnold, rest in peace, and Jerry Corley, who's still around. And when I first started, my comedy was more on the blue side, more on the raunchy side, naughty side, because that's where I was at the time. That's where my mind was. That's where my experiences were. And coming back into comedy, I'm rewriting a lot of my material because I want to touch on where I disappeared to for years. Like a lot of people didn't know what I was going through because of my
Right.
case. I
Right.
had to leave the internet for 3 years, which was really hard. So I'm trying to find the funny in the trauma that I went through, which has been really healing for me, and it's been really helpful to other disabled people because I live with invisible disabilities. So I'm rewriting my whole set, and I was working on my hour before I got hurt, and I was like, you know what, this is a good opportunity to kind of rewrite the old, incorporate the old, throw in
Right.
some new,
Right.
rebuild, and see what flows. And I've been having fun just, you know, I have to go at a different pace than I did before and listen to my body, because when it shuts down, it's down. So, you know, I go out when I can. Like before, I was hitting mics every night. I was on a mic every night. I was going, you know.
Well, you have that ethic. You have that work ethic.
Right,
Yeah.
especially from New York. But now I'm just pacing myself, but I'm enjoying the journey a little
Yes.
bit more
Yeah.
now than I was before, and enjoying like getting to know the scene here, and enjoying like picking up my guitar again, which I'm using muscles that I'm not used to using. But it's been a great
And you have some musical
journey.
releases coming out as well?
I'm working on my 4th album. So I have 3 albums. I have 3 albums on the internet, and those are all music. And my 4th album, I want it to be comedy and funny songs. So that's my goal.
Great.
And one of the many goals.
Great. Excellent. Well, you know, I'm going to take just a quick little break here. We're going to take a little 1-minute break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to stay right here. But we're just going to play my little commercial for the website that you can go on and you can subscribe to. So whenever you're ready, Rick.
Cougar-licious, come and take my hand.
Hi, I'm Donna Joy, and ladies, I'm here to shake you up. Welcome to Cougar-licious, a community where women stand in their own power, celebrate their divine diva, and enjoy a little eye candy. So whether you're married, single, or however you identify, this is about you being your true, authentic self. Our message goes to 35 to 65-year-old women and beyond. And this is your space, your time, and we support you all the way. Join our community, sign up for our newsletter, and get a free download from my book, Too Short to Be a Showgirl, plus exclusive discounts to our online store. Subscribe free to our YouTube channel, the Cougar-licious Cub House, for weekly episodes featuring inspiring women with a playful twist. And book me for your next event, or join us live at our Cougar-licious comedy brunches. So what are you waiting for? Go to our website, www.cougarlicious.com. Your time begins now. And remember, stay Cougar-licious.
Cougar-licious, come and take my hand.
Oh, this is gonna be stuck in my head forever. I'm never getting that song out of my head.
It's cool though.
That's the whole idea. That's the whole idea. You know, it was really funny. You know, any type of jingles like that, it does. It sticks. They stick in your head. And I remember one time I was watching. I was teaching a class. It was a class in advertising, and we were looking at these, old commercials. And all of a sudden, a McDonald's commercial came on to all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, lettuce, onion, sesame seed, bun. Right? You know it, right? and it just blah blah. And I just, oh my God, it doesn't get out of your head. That's the trick. That's the trick.
There's still phone numbers in Chicago that I know for like flooring companies.
Right.
From them coming on. Empire Flooring, if anyone's watching this, I still remember I doubt that the company has existed for 20 years.
555, that's 452, something like that, right? Oh God. But that's human nature. It's human nature and how people will remember you. So, where are people going to be able to find you?
As in like physically or
physically, where are you performing or contact you?
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Josh Lidawer. That's JoshLidawer. And I do have some shows coming up. I have if anyone's in Reno, I'll be headlining up there on April 25th.
Wow.
And I've started, it's going to be a monthly thing, but I don't have a date locked down yet for the month of May, producing a show here in the Arts District in Vegas.
Nice.
So that you can find more information on my Instagram.
Perfect. Thank you, Josh. And Denise.
I was waiting for that clap to end. So I am performing at Flappers Comedy Club on April 16th, which is next week, with Lana Turner, which I'm very excited because when I started hitting open mics in LA, when I first moved to LA in 2000, I met her and Ralphie May at the Cricket Bar.
Wow.
And Ralphie dropped her off. I'll never forget this. And he was going up the street to the Laugh Factory, and he's like, "You got to pay your dues." And so I've known her for a very long time.
Well,
and I've had her on my shows when I was producing shows.
How do people get in touch with you?
So to get in touch with me, go to my Instagram at Denise Vasquez Official, or my website, www.denisevasquezentertainment.com. That's where I post everything, usually on Instagram and my website.
That's it. The websites are so important.
Yes.
Okay, and before we go, I want to thank our sponsors for the show. We have Linder Health Skincare, Web and Funnel, Mom's Basement, Comedy Sports, Go Ledgerly, Caldwell Banker in Arizona, and the Balkan Bar and Grill. And you can also, if you're interested in becoming a sponsor onto the show, you can just go onto the sponsor page. You can see the different packages that we have. You can just sign up right there. And if you'd like, we'd love to have you on as a guest on our show as well. So that would be great. And remember, have you subscribed yet? Because this is your time. Hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, and you won't miss an episode. So it's over. We're done. Can you believe this? The time has gone by so fast. I want to thank you, Denise. I want to thank you, Josh, for coming in. You guys were absolutely spectacular.
This is a very impressive production. This is really cool.
Take it away. Bye.